Welcome back to the channel. Well, today I'm going to show you how I'm getting on with my macro photography. So, I've got my R6, I've got my Lauer 90mm lens, and I've got my Signatech diffuser, which is excellent. So from a few weeks ago when I bought it, I have been practicing and I'm getting there, but I just thought today I'll just show you how I'm getting there. So I've just took a test shot and my settings are as follows. On my flash, today's a little bit overcast, so I'm using a 1:4 power on my flash, and on my camera settings I'm set at 1/60th of a second and 200 ISO, and I'm doing single shots. We're coming into autumn and the days are getting shorter and colder, so I'm having to photograph what I can work with. So in my back garden I've got a bush here, I don't know what it's called, but there's still quite a lot of wasps and bugs and ants still attracted around to the nectar off the flowers of it. So it seems like a golden opportunity really to have a go around here. So what I tend to do, I tend to spot something on a flower, walk in, I'm using my screen and I'm out just below 1:1. So when I get focus on something I want to photograph, I just zoom into what I want to be, whether it's 1:1 or 2:1, and just move in and out until I'm in focus. And once I'm in focus, take a picture. And that's of a wasp. So I know it's you'll not be able to see all this because obviously we're too far away, but it does appear to work. So just find something to photograph, just zoom out a bit so it's easier for me, and once I've got what I want, just frame it up, zoom in, in and out, and then take a photo. And that's what I seem to be doing. So it's just a case of having a bit of a walk round the bush and seeing what I can find. Now there's a beautiful flying ant, sort of. I do apologise, I don't know what they're called, these bugs, apart from the wasps and the fruit flies that I know. The other stuff I'm not sure about, but there's a nice one here. So zoom out till I get it in the frame, move forward and focus, in and out, there we go. I am using the highlight on it, so that seems to work. It just helps with focusing, and if I'm struggling a little bit I can always turn my light on. There's a lot of wasps today. So once I've set my settings, I generally stick to them, don't need to change them really. Wasp. And obviously they are moving around a bit, so there we go. Yep, that's okay. I've just lost that. Well, I think it's a flying ant. It's gone somewhere. Let's have a look if we can find it. Ah, here we go. It's here. There we go. That's okay. Try another one. A bit closer. Frame it up. Some little tiny black bugs. Let's say I've no idea what they're called, but there's loads of them about. Let's see if I can find one that's a little bit easier to focus on. So there's quite a lot of wasps, quite a lot of fruit flies. There's some hover flies, but I'll be lucky to get one of them because they don't stay still for a second. But while I'm looking, let's take a look at the little flying ant. Well, I think it's a flying ant. There we go. Awesome. Try a fruit fly. There we go. Just zoom out. There we go, got it in. Move my camera forward, zooming in. Frame the shot. That's a close one. There we go. Yep. Excellent. So yeah, the technique, I'm sure I'll change my technique occasionally, but at the minute on here where there's a lot of movement, I find it easy just to, like I say, zoom out on my lens, frame the insect, and then just move in, zoom it in to 1:1 or 2:1, move the lens up. That's a black bug there. God, they're so small, those black bugs. It's not the best one, but wasps galore. Black bug. Well, that's small, I can't see him on my screen. Let's have a get my eyeball in. Seem to have lost that. And once the wasps are on, they're quite easy to photograph, to be honest. Just the rest of them, a bit difficult. Could do with a bit faster shutter speed, to be honest. It's just 200's about right. But turn the light off. I need a bit more power. There we go, half power. Oh, that's much better. Just trying to get the right composition. Challenging. Here we go, try again. Excellent. Cool. That little black bug. Can't get it in focus. No, that's no good. Well, there's 3 of them there. Nope. I'm not having much luck with these little ones. If I can get any tighter with me. It's me, it's my fault. I can see them, but just the composition is terrible. No good at all. I'm going to get one of these black bugs if it kills me. Let's go in the office. I'll put these pictures on. What have I learnt up to now on this journey with macro photography? Quite a bit. It isn't as easy as I thought it would be. That's the first thing. Having a designated macro lens is probably very important. I've tried the Nissi filter, remember, on the 200mm lens. I mean, it's okay, but the lens is too big, it's too heavy. Trying to frame up, it takes much longer. But if you're doing stuff on a tripod, then the 200mm is okay. But when you're walking around outside in the field, you know, having a 90mm lens or a 100mm lens, and obviously the other range of lenses that Lauer do, because obviously they do the 60, they do the I think it's the 50, and they do a really small one that can magnify up to 5 times. I can see that being quite challenging, actually, being so close. But I'm not going to take it that seriously. I think with what I've got, to be able to do 2.1, I think it's enough for the stuff that I'm doing. Flash wise, yeah, flash is important. I mean, this V860 Mark III, it is relatively easy to use. It took me, you know, probably half an hour just to have a look through the settings to see how you work it. I mean, I don't know it inside out, but what I need to know for doing the photography is what I know. So, and there again, once you set your power, you shouldn't really have to change it unless the weather changes dramatically, and you're getting a lot of darker shade. Then yeah, you have to change your settings a bit. But apart from that, you set it up and away you go. You know, not forgetting to do test shots first and just seeing how it looks. Framing, you know, that's like I've just shown you there for me and my eyesight. Framing is once you see something that you want to photograph, yeah, I zoom out a little bit and look on me so I can actually see, you know, the actual insect or flower or anything and then I can frame it up, you know, and zoom it into what I want to get the right composure and then take the picture. Diffuser, you must have a diffuser. I mean, it doesn't have to be the Signatech, but you have to have some sort of diffuser. I can't give this any more hype. It is fantastic. Even though I had a slight accident with it and I melted it with a candle, but I've repaired it, so it's so disappointing. And settings on your camera, obviously all flashes and cameras have different sync settings. Now I know my R6 works up to 250th of a second with this flash. Some only do 200. ISO ideally 100. My shutter speed's 200. Well, what I've started to learn is when I'm at the 200 and you're in close to a subject, black backgrounds, which it does really look nice, but sometimes you just want a bit of colour. So I found out that if you turn your shutter speed down, it doesn't affect the flash whatsoever, but what it does do, it lets more light through the camera, because obviously you're slowing the aperture, the speed down. So then you can get some colour in the background, which is good. So it's all about trial and error. The thing with any photography, whether it's, you know, wildlife photography, which I'm pretty much, well, bird photography anyway, you know, you learn stuff over a length of time. You can't just walk into this genre and, you know, take amazing photographs straight away. It's all about trial and error and practice. When you're working with a macro lens, aperture is quite important too. Even though it's a lot of trial and error, But majority of the time I seem to be shooting at f8 and f11. Obviously it does go down to 2.8, and maximum I think is, I'll have to have a look, maximum's 22. I probably wouldn't go that far, but probably 16 is probably as much as I'd go to, because then you start getting softness. But I think anywhere between 5.6 and f11, then that's probably the ideal range. 2.8 probably is a bit more sharper for, you know, probably bigger subjects. But when you're photographing little insects that are, you know, a couple of millimeters, then obviously the f5.6 to f11 is probably your best bet. Well, that's what I've learned. I mean, you could tell me different, but that's what I seem to have found. And it is obviously a manual lens, so everything that you do with it is manual, and that is challenging. Oh, I've just realised that the bush behind me is actually ivy. I don't know why I didn't spot that in the first place. I said at the beginning of the video I didn't know what it was, but it's ivy. But anyway, it does tend to attract quite a lot of wasps and fruit flies and ants and other bits and bats. Hopefully you enjoyed that. So until next time, catch you later.